I want to start today by continuing to thank you for all of your comments. It's kind of one of those things where if you're going to open up your life to the public, you're going to get feedback. And I get a lot of great feedback, and I'm eternally grateful for that. I get some other feedback. I am grateful for that too, because I want these to be the best that they can be. I'm especially glad for a very direct critique the other day. I will definitely work on those things, and I appreciate that. I want to continue the thought today on safety. You'll remember one of my blogs probably a week ago or so was, it's not about trust, it's about safety. And I want to give you two pillars to safety that absolutely helped me. And in Samantha's words, she said it amazingly helped me win back trust from her and actually win back admiration and a new sense of love that she had for me. So those two pillars are consistency and competency. We'll talk about consistency first. Before my affair became public, I was consistent in a lot of my job. I was consistent in meetings that I had to be at, in my travel schedule and all of that. But I was not consistent at home. I was home out of a 7-day week, maybe 2, maybe 3 nights for dinner. Most of the time I was gone. I was in meetings through all hours of the night and different things. It was chaos, it really was. So if I was going to win back trust, if I was going to win back Samantha's heart, I was going to have to be consistent. And what does that look like? Well, in recovery, I was very fortunate, very blessed. I was able to get a new job, and I tried to leave the house at the same time every morning. I made it a point to come home at the same time every day. I was home for dinner every night a week, and our kids were little, so you know what that kind of a challenge can be. Sometimes you just don't want to be home for dinner. But that was how unhealthy I was, and so I had to really learn the power of consistency. And if you are an unfaithful, or if you're a betrayed, this might be good to share with the unfaithful. One of the best ways to win back trust or win back love and win back a sense of safety is to be consistent in everything that you do. You'll find this hilarious, but one of the things that Samantha wanted from me was a consistency in just doing husband things, mowing the lawn, taking out the trash, paying bills on time. Just simple things like that. Coming home at the same time, and if I was going to be late, sending a text. It's just the principle of consistency to affect the way that the betrayed spouse sees the unfaithful. You'll be surprised. Be consistent, and I think you'll win back some safety. The second thing is competency. And if you want to infuriate a betrayed spouse, if you want to have them in many ways look upon you, the unfaithful, in a very demeaning, disrespectful way, is create an environment where the betrayed spouse constantly has to affirm and reassure and cater to the unfaithful. It's a recipe for disaster. The betrayed spouse wants to see a competency on behalf of the unfaithful. Competency in how you work, competency in parenting well if you have kids, competency in the way you go about life, in the way you go about business, in the way you approach your own recovery, and if you're lucky enough or blessed enough, the recovery work of the couple. It's about competency. It's about not having to be babied. It's about not having to be led by the betrayed spouse, but you, the unfaithful, actually showing competency and doing your part. You see, by being competent, you are changing, you are adjusting the negative lens that the betrayed spouse sees you through. As you prove competent, they're seeing you winning at life. And I don't mean winning in some form of I need to be a success in everything that I do, but I mean being consistent, but showing that you are serious about recovery and life and a new season ahead of you. Samantha told me this a long time ago. She said, she called me her special word. She said, you were in special word. But one of the things that impressed me was that you took it on the chin. You were humiliated. There was a sea of people that called you every name in the book, disowned you, would have put a bullet in you, almost tried to put a bullet in you. But you were brave. You faced the music. You took all of my anger and rage and demeaning behavior at times, and you showed me that you were serious. I was consistent and I was competent. I wasn't perfect. Please don't hear that. But in order to change the lens by which Samantha was seeing me, I learned from Rick, I learned from my mentor that I had to prove that I was competent and that I was willing to do what it took to create safety. And so I want to encourage you today, if you're an unfaithful, be consistent. And if you have some guts, go to your betrayed spouse and say, what are some areas that you really want to see me consistent in? If you're struggling with competency, go to your spouse, the betrayed spouse, and say, look, what are some areas that I can show you competency? I guarantee you, the betrayed spouse is going to have some ideas and some suggestions for you.